this week is all about traditions, talking about the kind of traditions that you're going to want to start in your future family. So I'll be popping on here on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I'll put the individual questions up each day this week in case you forget what they are and you need a little refresher. So let's talk about a few right now. So I want you to think about in your own, each of your own families, what are some family traditions that you really love? And not just holiday traditions, because those are really fun to think about. Or maybe you don't like some of the things your parents do for traditions for the holidays and you'd like to change them. But think about kind of the day-to-day traditions. Like, do you eat dinner together as a family? What are the cleaning responsibilities for people in your family? I know that when I was growing up, we always cleaned and did work as a family on Saturdays. In my current family, our weeks are so packed right now that we try and get everything done during the week, so Saturday can just really be a day of rest. And that's different than the way that I grew up, but it's what works for my family right now. So these things will kind of ebb and flow, but talk about the things that you love about the operation of each of your current families. And then maybe talk about some things that you don't love, that you'd like to let go of and do differently, and what traditions you would like to merge to create your own little family. Things that you'd like to take that you really like from your current home, or things that you'd like to leave and not carry on. So talk about those things, and I'll put those questions up this week, and then I'll see you back in a couple of days. All right, today let's talk all about the holiday traditions. How do you want to celebrate the major holidays? What do you want to do for Christmas? What do you want to do for Thanksgiving? Do you live close enough to your extended families that you want to visit each of them on those days? We live within an hour of some of our extended family, and we used to try and visit both, but it got to be really crazy once we started having kids. So now we alternate. One year we do Christmas with one side, and then the other year we do Thanksgiving. And it's just made things a little bit more calm. So that's something to maybe talk about. And what kind of traditions are going to be meaningful for you for these holidays, and what do you want the focus to be? And how are you going to implement that? So those are some things to think about. Also, if your families kind of give you some pushback on what you've decided to do, how are you going to handle that? Sometimes we have a situation where both of our families want to do something on the same day, and so we've just kind of made a rule that whoever invites us first is where we're going to go. But then we'll make an effort to go visit the other family sometime, either before or after that activity, so that both sides feel equally loved and valued. But it takes away the stress of trying to manage all different expectations. So think about how you're going to work on that, and if there's some complicated relationships that might influence those decisions, on what you can do now to make that be a little more smooth transition. Okay, so finally for this week, maybe have a discussion about what you want to do for your first vacations together when you're first married. And I'm guessing you probably don't have a ton of money. Maybe you're lucky and you do, and if you are, I'm so happy for you. But what can you do now to set aside some money to maybe go on a trip or two this year? And where would you like to go, and what would you like to do, and how you're going to save for that? And then last but not least, how do you each like to be celebrated on your birthday? And sometimes we're tempted to be like, oh, it's not a big deal. But remember, you're kind of setting the tone for the rest of your marriage. Obviously, you can make changes. But it's really important to celebrate each other and to think about how you personally would feel loved. And to not put pressure on each other to do certain things that you might not want to do. Like, what do you really want to do, and what really makes you feel special, and how would you like to celebrate? So some people love really big parties, some people like surprises. I'm a person who just likes time. So I just like to go hang out with my husband for a day on my birthday. And that's it. I don't really need like presents. I'm not really into jewelry or anything, but I really love just having a day together. So talk about what kinds of things you like so that your partner can help you feel loved that day and have a little bit of an idea, and you won't be disappointed. Also, remember to keep your expectations in realm with your budget and your time and your season of life so that we can just have some realistic and loving expectations for each other, and we can make each other feel loved and supported. Okay, I'll see you next week.